Now, if you're running 5 times a week, you're lifting 5 times a week, you're wondering why you're absolutely knackered, you're getting weaker and you're not losing any body fat. Not because you're not trying hard enough. It's probably because you're doing too much. Let me explain what I mean by that. But before we get into that, if you haven't been down to Baked in Worthing, what are you doing with your life? It is sensational. There's about 50 different types of brownies in the window. You go in, they're all there. It's impossible to make a decision. I had to ask the lady what the newest and the best brownies are, and she pointed out a couple. I obviously took those, and then I went back there the next day and took another 3. So over the last week, I've eaten 5 brownies. They've got to be at least 500 calories a square or a slice. It's a good job I'm super active, because if it wasn't for that, I would be a really fat bastard. Let me give you a little update on what's gone on this week. We built this desk. It took about an hour this morning. The last one that I had, a little bit too small. And I like to be able to spread out a little bit. This one's a lot wider. So I've got space for the notepad over here. We've got space for the laptop over here. We're not too much on top of ourselves. We've got this little riser. So we've got a little tray to put bits and pieces that I need. At the moment, where I've got nothing in this office, everything's just lent up against the wall down there. So it's great now that I've got storage space. We're slowly getting there. Having moved in here 2 months ago and start from absolute scratch with all my furniture, it's been a journey, and we're getting there slowly but surely. We're getting there. But this is just one step forward, so I'm happy with this. A clean desk space makes a big difference. Do you not think? Order, tidiness. When everything's tidy, I can focus. When there's shit everywhere and it's a complete mess, I just can't get anything done. I have to get things organised first. So the fact that we've got some order here now, perfect. What else have we got going on? This week, we've got a coffee table arriving, hopefully a dining table. We've got some new bedding arriving, which is exciting, new mattress topper. On top of all of that, are you watching Maths? Because I am. Some of the girls, man, toxic as hell. I don't know how some of these guys tolerate it. It's great TV, but it is horrendous. So anyway, that's where I'm at with that. Some real characters on there. I've been spamming M&S lately. Having it 30 seconds down the road is amazing. I love it because they got great food. They do this 2 for £10 thing. So sea bass last night with Parmentier potatoes and veg, all with this nice kind of like butter, really tasty. I think about 500 calories a portion as well. So pretty good food, much more creative than whatever I would put together. So anyway, that's where I'm at. I'm eating well, I'm training hard, I'm building stuff. That's where we're at this week. Right, let's get into it. Why can't you lose any body fat and you're doing all this work? I'm gonna tell you. So you're in the gym 5 times a week. You're trying to do as much cardio as you possibly can. You've slashed your calories. And that all sounds great on paper, because the more you do and the more aggressive everything is, the faster everything happens, right? But what you're noticing is that you're absolutely knackered. Your strength training sessions are getting worse and worse because you haven't got the energy to perform in them. You haven't got the energy to rack up steps anymore. On top of that, your appetite is through the absolute roof because you've been absolutely drilling yourself into the ground. We know if we want to lose body fat specifically, we need to make sure that we're weight training to protect muscle through that phase, but we also want to make sure that we're recovering in between those sessions as well as we possibly can be. If you're spending those days where you could be recovering doing loads of high intensity cardio, you're never going to be getting that recovery part, which means your strength training sessions are eventually going to take a hit. On top of that, your appetite is going to be through the absolute roof. So from a fat loss perspective, if that is the main goal here, we want to be protecting strength training, recovering in between them, and using cardio only as a bit of a tool to speed things along a little bit or to keep your expenditure in a good place, because that then just means that you can afford to lose more body fat on higher calories. Obviously, if you're super sedentary, you'd have to go super low. Anyway, let me walk you through what my training sessions look like right now and the way that I organize my training through the week, because at the moment, no, I'm not dieting for fat loss, but what I am doing is juggling easy cardio to make sure that my weight training sessions feel good. Anyway, let me walk you through them. So this is my training split at the moment. I'm training 4 times a week. I'm hitting cardio 3 times a week. On paper, that sounds like quite a lot. And for most people, that probably is going to be a little bit too much. Like I say, I'm not in a fat loss phase. At the moment, my calories are at maintenance. So I have plenty of fuel going in to support all the training that I do. But I am organizing my cardio in between my weight training sessions so that it doesn't impact the strength training sessions, because that is the most important part of my routine at the moment. So at the moment, this is my training split. On Monday, I will train an upper body session. On Tuesday, I'll hit lower. On Wednesday, I'm going to hit a very easy run or a cycle, something that's going to get my heart rate elevated, but not so high that it's going to impact my recovery capabilities for my next weight training session. On Thursday, I'm going to hit a push session. So at the moment, it's a bit of a full body push session where I'm hitting chest, shoulders, triceps, and a bit of quads because I want to bring my legs up. And then I'm hitting intervals on a Friday. If I was dieting for fat loss, I probably wouldn't do intervals on Friday, purely because intervals, higher intensity work, it's going to jack up my nervous system. I'm going to feel knackered. It may impact my strength training the next day if I was in a calorie deficit. If I was running on less fuel than my body wanted to maintain weight, that would be a bit of a problem. So if I was dieting for fat loss, I probably would just replace intervals with easy cardio. Again, just to protect the strength training session the next day, but also just to allow me to recover from the training session that I did the day before. On Saturday, I'm doing a pull session. This is a full body pull session, so I'm hitting hamstrings alongside my back. Again, looking to try and bring up my legs. So that's 3 sessions across the entire week where I'm getting leg work done, more volume, more stimulus, hopefully bigger legs. And then on Sunday, I'm going to hit a long, easy run or a cycle. At the moment, I'm kind of alternating between a long run and a cycle. We've got the Worthing Half Marathon next weekend. So the long runs are just helping build up a little bit of volume so my legs are ready to cover 21 kilometers. So I may alternate between cycling or running. It really kind of does depend by feel at the moment, but it's about 60 to 90 minutes worth of work. Again, if I was in a fat loss phase, I may not do this much cardio. I keep banging on about recovery. It is such an overlooked part of the journey. Too many people, like I say, are trying to do too much and it's biting them in the ass. So you're better off prioritizing the strength work, taking it easy on the days in between that, and then just letting the diet do its work. What we got going on this weekend? It's the London Marathon. It's been a good 15 years since I did the London Marathon, another marathon that I did without any training. And that definitely isn't a brag because I set a horrendous time. Most of it was spent walking, but good experience. And it's good vibes up there. The whole course, the whole route was just people on either side of the road. Lots of music, lots of fun. So I'm looking forward to getting up there. Hopefully the weather holds. It should be a good day out. Next week will be a bit of a taper week. We've got the Worthing Half, like I said. So hopefully we can set a PB for that course. It's relatively flat. If all the conditions are perfect and everything goes to plan, less than an hour 39 would be great. Anyway, I'll be able to talk to you about it next time round. So I'll catch you in the next vid.